Now, let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Dino Mosquera, and let's queer up politics. Republicans are trying to ban all porn in the USA, and your VPN will not save you. On Thursday, May 8th, Utah Republican Mike Lee and Illinois Representative Mary Miller introduced a bill known as the Interstate Obscenity Definition Act. In a press release about the bill, Lee wrote, quote, "Obscenity isn't protected by the First Amendment, but hazy and unenforceable legal definitions have allowed extreme pornography to saturate American society and reach countless children. Our bill updates the legal definition of obscenity for the internet age so this content can be taken down and its peddlers prosecuted," end of quote. The act will update the definition of obscenity within the Communications Act of 1934 to include any content that, quote, "appeals to the prurient interest in nudity, sex, or excretion, depicts, describes, or represents actual or simulated sexual acts with the objective intent to arouse, titillate, or gratify the sexual desires of a person and taken as a whole lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value," end of quote. The bill will also remove a previous restriction on adult content as being labeled obscene only if it were being used to target or harass others. These restrictions were laid out in the Project 2025 roadmap, and many in the adult industry are worried that even more commercialized activities such as lingerie modeling could be banned. Critics point out that it broadly passed providers who support VPN and others privacy protections could be held accountable for violations of federal law. Here again, another attempt by the government overreach and trying to get into people's business, private business. And if they're so concerned about this and our children, again, protection of our children is the motto here. They do nothing about security of children in schools and, accessing schools with guns and everybody has access and kill a bunch of kids. Nothing about that, but this is priority. This is what we need to focus on. While we keep having, mass shootings around America in schools and places where, many children gather.
So if a bill like this passes, what happens to X? I mean, isn't that the only thing that's on X? It used to be Twitter. It's all sexual content now. It's all gay porn. So did I, girl. But
I'm getting sexual content and reels through Facebook now.
Yes.
And it's just not that. I mean, okay, if we're protecting children who are having access to porn, why aren't we talking to the parents? There are child safety locks on computers, there's software, there's all of this stuff. So, as my parents used, let's don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Let's actually look at, you can't go to an R-rated movie without, parental guidance. So are R-rated movies going to go away now? Where is the I agree. This is, overreach of the government. But again, where's the parenting? We keep talking about all this stuff for the kids, but where's the parents?
Yeah.
I don't think that this has much chance of passing. I think this is just a ploy for one of these Congress members to show, hey, I'm with the Project 2025. I'm with this. This is a Utah government. Maybe he's Mormon. I don't know. But he's like trying to make his stamp politically so everybody knows who he is and who he's representing. But there's part of me that wants it to get a little bit further and pass a couple of the committees in order to get to a vote so that it makes national news. Because one thing that I think will turn people against Trump and the administration is taking away their porn.
100%.
And so I think all of these, I'm so disappointed with my county, Miami-Dade County. I know there's a lot of Cuban bros here. A lot of them are my friends, but there's also this contingency of them that are just like, Trump, that's the man, he wouldn't take away like our pornography. Yeah, you know what? I kind of want you to live without porn just for a little bit to understand this is not the kind of administration that you think that it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's something completely different, and you're not even looking over here in the corner what they're trying to do and what they're just trying to, you know.
You're too busy trying to protect the children.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, you know, and dressing up in a McDonald's costume and doing something that you think it's fun to see people trolling. And to his credit, the best thing that Donald Trump does is he's a good troller. There's parts of him that is a good, like, bully.
He is a good bully.
He is funny
he could
sometimes.
do a bully
when he
101
says
on
stuff.
that.
And that's what they're gravitating to. I was like, but you're not thinking about all this other stuff. But when we take away your porn, maybe you'll start to realize there's a little something.
But the thing is that, you know what, we know how to, in Spanish we say resolver. We always try to figure out another way. They tried to take our porn away from us this year, and everybody just got Surfshark and got their own VPN to watch their porn. You know what I mean? We're always going to figure out a way to get our porn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a waste of time is what it is. But I do understand what you're saying. I would love to see those red Miamians lose their porn so they could see.
Only in date on
losing their
Instagram.
shit.
Look, Billy Bob,
Yeah.
Billy Bob in the middle of America is not going to allow his, jugs for Jesus to go away. Like it's not going to happen.
They're all watching porn.
Yeah.
All of them.
I mean, Grindr crashed during the Republican convention. So I mean,
Hello.
everybody, everybody's doing it. It's one of the oldest professions around, still to this day. So it's not. You're right. It's not going to happen. But the fact is, we're sitting here talking about it. The fact is that we have people actually bringing this up, but yet they can't protect the children. We can't deal with gun rights. We can't deal with the things that actually would make progress for this country.
Nope.
But
And, you know,
if they take away the porn, which is not
We're gonna have a
likely,
lot
but
of
if they
frustrated,
do,
trash people.
you can always come to a bodybuilder show and you can just jerk off there. I'll wear whatever you want.
Yeah, or film it for
within
later.
reason.
Or film it for later.
Yeah.
It takes hundreds.
And you know, it's the
Shit, and I
people
don't
who-
get changed.
The people who always introduce these kinds of bills, you find those skeletons.
Yeah.
Find this guy,
Right?
Everybody look up this dude and look at, if you're one of those past call boys that he might have called, go public
Go
with it.
public, right? If you were a rent boy that he rented,
Exactly.
for sure.
That
There's
just
always
turned
something
18
there.
probably.
For sure. Well, that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.